Welcome to the beautiful and historic city of Wrenwood! Come soak in the nostalgia of a bygone era with chic art galleries, classic restaurants, and plenty of stores where you can shop till you drop. If you want to get away from the modern hustle and bustle, Wrenwood is the place to be. Submitted by Special Agent Kyle Eames. On September 28th, 2026, at 11:20 p.m., the body of a man was found at an abandoned hotel in the Midwestern city of Wrenwood. The body was discovered in the hotel restroom. Based on the level of decay, it is suspected to have been there for several days. Prior to this incident, multiple cases of similarly mysterious deaths have been reported in locations across the United States. H. Ramirez, pronounced dead at Stoneville Hospital. E. Wilkins, pronounced dead at Hotel Denbar. K. White, pronounced dead at Green Oak Apartments. M. Warren, pronounced dead at Night Valley Nursing Home. It has been confirmed that all the identified victims were survivors of the Raccoon City incident.
The victims' bodies all had extensive black bruising.
The Wrenwood Hotel has been welcoming guests from all walks of life since opening its doors in 1928. Experience the warm embrace of nearly a century's worth of history, along with Wrenwood's time-honored traditions. To all employees, following the recent incident, management has been working hard to restore public trust. Unfortunately, due to the extent of the damage, it is unclear if it will be possible to reopen. Consequently, it is with great regret that we must announce the official closure of the Wrenwood Hotel. We apologize greatly for the impact this may have on you and your families, and wish to extend our heartfelt gratitude for the support and hard work you have brought to the long-standing business. October 17th, 2018. Work has settled down, and we're heading to a new town the day after tomorrow. I'm thankful my freelance work allows me to work anywhere, but I'm worried about Grace. It's difficult for her to make friends when we're constantly on the move. Maybe we can spend a little more time in the next town. October 18th, 2018. Finished some research and stopped in the cafe when I noticed a hooded man. I could have sworn he was watching me. Maybe I'm just being paranoid. October 19th, 2018. I saw that hooded man again. He's definitely following me. We only just got here, but I think we should move on. I can't let anything happen to Grace.
Person of interest. Name, Victor Gideon. Age, 54. Gender, male. Nationality, USA. I couldn't dig up much on Victor Gideon. What we do know is that he's a former employee of Umbrella and was involved in researching the T-virus. After the Raccoon City incident, he was called as a witness in the Umbrella trials, but the court couldn't track him down. I traced his whereabouts to the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center, a private institution where he acts as the director. The center is also a research facility that handles highly sensitive data. It's had a clean bill for years and avoided the scrutiny of any and all agencies. Additional notes. Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center was once run by the Spencer Foundation. I'd be surprised if we didn't find something off about the place.
Progress notes 2203. Began blood extraction 2205. Checked pulse. No abnormalities 2211. Administered Dexafil 2218. Condition stable, ready for further examination. To staff, I have moved some items out of the closet. The screwdriver is now in the toolbox in the nurse's station. The sewing kit is... Text is blurred and illegible. Director, Victor Gideon. Transforming Lives Through Medicine. Chairman, Mitchell Bennett. Lead researcher, Anthony Richardson. Security manager, Luke Clark. Dignity of the moon. Trust of the sun, serenity of the stars. We are partners. Unauthorized personnel are not permitted past this point. In the case of irregularities, contact the lead researcher immediately. In emergencies, I have to get the hell out of here, but the whole building is locked down. I'll need to ask the chairman to get his quartz for me. I just heard another scream. My colleagues are killing each other. What the fuck is going on? Copy of an email to a manager. Subject, personnel change. From Mitchell Bennett. The new hire showed promise at the dinner meeting last month. Have his clearance bumped up a level and get him set up to work on the project. Send the current researcher for processing while you're at it. I suspect that we'll receive a visit from the DSO shortly. I want you to enact Code 6 at 2330. I've achieved my goal and no longer have any need for this place. The custom blood collector that Dr. Richardson ordered has finally arrived. To be honest, I was skeptical at first, but I'm genuinely impressed by its effectiveness. Combining infected blood with our experimental substances has been such a challenge for us, but this device makes it so easy. This is sure to improve the efficiency of our blood research and speed up analysis for further mutation patterns.
Patient medical records. Subject, Martin L. Case.
Symptoms, auditory sensitivity. Following an experiment with an overdose of Ziproval, the subject started to have auditory hallucinations and became aggressive and difficult to control. The subject exhibits erratic behavior when exposed to loud noises. Subject, Eileen Zimmerson. Symptoms, persistent vocalization and wandering. The surgical removal of some cranial nerves resulted in a type of histrionic personality disorder that can only be described as main character syndrome. The patient continues to wander around the care center singing. Subject, Selena Corey. Symptoms, persistent vocalization and wandering. Her symptoms are more pronounced than Zimmerson's. She often puts on performances in the West Wing's bar and lounge, as if she's competing with her rival.
Master Spencer's research, Victor Gideon mutated T-virus strain.
Herein documents a theory that uses the T-virus to control memories and will. This research shall serve as a guiding light for all of humanity. In rare instances, repeated mutations of the T-virus can trigger an abnormal reaction in an infected individual's body, leading to changes in their blood. The mutated strains of the T-virus will likely sweep the world, and total eradication will be impossible. Those infected by the mutated T-virus strain firmly retain their pre-infection habits and characteristics. Blood transformation. Within this lies the key to humanity's evolution. Victor's journal entry, November 30th, 2004. My master's research has come to fruition, and that child, she must be the final piece of the puzzle. I need to get my hands on the child's data. I'm sure this will bring me closer to his vision. December 8th, 2004. The organization was able to get me the child's medical records. It was lacking in certain areas, but did have her genetic information. I can use this. Subject, Grace Ashcroft. Period of observation, September 9th to 16th, 2026. Detective, M.D. Birdie, RGT Detective Agency. Summary of investigation. Employed by the FBI at the Midwest Field Office. Lives alone, close to her office. Goes home late, often after midnight. Spends her free time at home. No confirmed contact with others. Findings. It's difficult to get close, as the target rarely leaves the FBI Midwest Field Office area. If you want to make contact without raising suspicion, it would be best to do so when she's away from home. A more detailed report and several photographs will be sent at a later date. Disposal Team Report Assignment. Evidence Erasure Report. Date October 20th, 2018, 6:42 a.m. A retrieval mission was conducted shortly after 1:30 a.m. at the Wrenwood Hotel. We were dispatched soon after to dispose of any evidence. All witnesses at the hotel had already been taken care of. The body of the assassin that was sent was also destroyed. We had a stroke of luck with that fire. As they say, the best place to hide a leaf is in a forest. This incident will likely be ruled an act of arson and homicide by some nutcase. Any evidence linking us to the scene is gone. Nurse's log, September 3rd. As per the doctor's orders, from today I will take part in monitoring the progress of Subject 171. She is emotionless and unsettling. This assignment fills me with unease. September 10th. Subject 171 is blind and requires a lot of assistance. I felt sorry for her and tried to offer some comfort by stroking her hair, but as always, received no reaction. Such an unnerving child. I just want to go home and shower. September 24th. For some reason, the security manager joined me today. He asked subject 171 2 or 3 questions about blood, but of course, a child wouldn't know how to respond. What a strange man.
Double mutation. There have been a number of cases where corpses infected with the mutated T-virus strain have exhibited rapid tissue regeneration and sudden violent behavior. Analysis of the enlarged tumor that formed on the heads of these patients revealed a sudden change in red blood cell patterns consistent with the pattern found in urine tests. This additional mutation is considered a side effect of the mutated T-virus strain. We have named those with double mutation symptoms blister heads. In rare cases, the tumor was observed to spread from the head across the entire body. If the abscesses covering these individuals burst, the fluids they expel will induce double mutation in nearby infected. Hemolytic poison has proven effective at preventing double mutation, otherwise the head must be completely destroyed. Always exercise extreme caution when handling infected corpses.
Satiety suppression, medical records. Subject, Thomas K. Jackson. Symptoms, irregular eating patterns. After a surgical procedure to suppress the satiety center of the brain, the subject experienced an increase in appetite and weight gain. He began to ingest everything he could get his hands on, including infusion pumps and pacemakers. Subject, Timothy B. Jackson. Symptoms, irregular eating patterns. Exhibits the same symptoms as his brother, with a particularly strong fixation on human flesh. Must be treated with extreme caution as he becomes violently agitated, if not constantly eating.
This report outlines the current research on latent onset T-virus syndrome, henceforth referred to as Raccoon City Syndrome. Raccoon City Syndrome occurs when residual T-virus within the body mutates over a prolonged period of time. I have yet to find an effective treatment, and when it manifests, the results are fatal. Raccoon City Syndrome appears to develop through the following stages. Stage 0, dormancy. The virus lies temporarily dormant within the host due to the presence of specific antibodies. As the virus is not completely suppressed, it begins to build an immunity to the antibodies over time. Stage 1, activation. The virus becomes active and black. Bruise-like marks begin to appear on parts of the body. Mild symptoms, such as general malaise and coughing, occur. Stage 2, development. The black marks spread further across the body, coupled with numbness in the affected areas. The marks extend to the internal organs, sometimes leading to hematemesis. Stage 3, end stage. The black marks darken and spread across the entire body. Severe pain and intense fatigue make moving difficult. Vomiting of blood becomes uncontrollable. Patients at the terminal stage typically die within 1 to 2 hours. Staff member's last words. Everyone's dead. The plan went to shit. I'm the only one left in this godforsaken place. I tried to escape, but what's the point? I can still see my colleagues being eaten alive, like an endless loop playing over and over in my head. Let it stop. Please.
Operation to eliminate the girl. To all employees, the girl is currently occupying the basement. We plan to corner her by taking advantage of the subject's intolerance to light and will place high-intensity ultraviolet lamps throughout the area. Once this is complete, we will begin the operation to eliminate the subject. Prepare your weapons and be on standby.
Unlocking the cells. You gotta insert the 3 joint plugs and pull the left lever if you're crazy enough to open the cells.
The joint plugs are currently being used to power other areas. I've marked their locations on the map. Removing them will cut the electricity, so you better be extra sure before you start messing around with them.
Security guards report.
The 12 subjects we were provided with were confirmed infected and reduced to blood at the processing area. We'll be able to increase the turnover rate even more thanks to the increased stock from our supply chain. We have already started processing today's editions. Note, regarding research results. Your presentation was quite impressive. While we are pleased to hear that the experiment has progressed to phase 4, it is far from the results we expect. It has been more than 20 years since the establishment of this care center. We require clear results. As an added precaution, we have requested the blockade be extended to 2040. It is imperative we obtain ELPIS before that deadline.
Spencer's Research 2, Memory Transfer. Oswell E. Spencer. Humanity suffers when the drive and experience of our most exceptional leaders is lost. The ultimate way to preserve such greatness is to transfer those memories to a new vessel. Just as fruit flies have the potential to pass on certain memories to their offspring through their genes, so too can the memories of a human donor be passed on to a recipient. The question we now face is how to harness this incredible potential. The answer lies in the medium of memory: blood. Cells within the blood contain multitudes of information, including factors tied to memory. Thus, since the T virus grants us control over factors within the blood, it can be hypothesized that harnessing those same elements will allow us to transfer memories from superior individuals. However, for such a procedure to succeed, the host must be able to withstand the toxicity of the mutated T virus strain while preserving their own intelligence. Sourcing viable subjects will be the key to future research and testing. Subject 170. Record extracted. A 2.3 milliliter sample from the 524.3 liters of blood collected from 115 infected, administered to Marie, henceforth registered as Subject 170. Subject 170 exhibited increased physical resilience, but failed to fulfill the goal of the experiment. The subject showed signs of mental instability before escaping, confirmed for immediate disposal.
Note, regarding research results. Your presentation was quite impressive. While we are pleased to hear that the experiment has progressed to phase 4, it is far from the results we expect. It has been more than 20 years since the establishment of this care center. We require clear results. As an added precaution, we have requested the blockade be extended to 2040. It is imperative we obtain ELPIS before that deadline.
Spencer's Research 2, Memory Transfer. Oswell E. Spencer. Humanity suffers when the drive and experience of our most exceptional leaders is lost. The ultimate way to preserve such greatness is to transfer those memories to a new vessel. Just as fruit flies have the potential to pass on certain memories to their offspring through their genes, so too can the memories of a human donor be passed on to a recipient. The question we now face is how to harness this incredible potential. The answer lies in the medium of memory: blood. Cells within the blood contain multitudes of information, including factors tied to memory. Thus, since the T virus grants us control over factors within the blood, it can be hypothesized that harnessing those same elements will allow us to transfer memories from superior individuals. However, for such a procedure to succeed, the host must be able to withstand the toxicity of the mutated T virus strain while preserving their own intelligence. Sourcing viable subjects will be the key to future research and testing. Subject 170. Record extracted. A 2.3 milliliter sample from the 524.3 liters of blood collected from 115 infected, administered to Marie, henceforth registered as Subject 170. Subject 170 exhibited increased physical resilience, but failed to fulfill the goal of the experiment. The subject showed signs of mental instability before escaping, confirmed for immediate disposal.
Raccoon City, a city in the Midwest surrounded by nature. From the early to mid-90s, pharmaceutical giant Umbrella invested heavily in the city. However, in September 1998, the T virus leaked from Umbrella's underground laboratory, causing a citywide epidemic. On October 1st, the US government recognized the severity of the situation and ordered a sterilization of the city. Raccoon City was wiped off the face of the earth. and remains under lockdown to this day. Umbrella was founded in 1968 by 3 people, one of whom was Oswell E. Spencer. On the surface, it was a successful international corporation, but beneath the veneer lay a hive of illegal research, including development of the T-virus. The infamous 1998 disaster, now known as the Raccoon City incident, exposed their illicit deeds to the public. Umbrella went to trial and eventually ceased operations in 2004 after declaring bankruptcy. Oswell E. Spencer was a founding member and leader of Umbrella. His excellent managerial skills helped the company grow into a major corporation. His true nature, however, was that of a monster who repeatedly conducted inhumane tests to advance his illegal viral research. Spencer was egotistical and ruthless in pursuit of his ambitions. It's believed he even took out the other founders of Umbrella. He passed away in 2006 at his secluded estate after Umbrella went under. Orders for the Engineer Corps. The detonator requires 3 parts: signal receiver, east point distributor, midpoint, relay, west point. Retrieve them immediately. We don't have much time. Avoid contact with the infected at all costs. If combat is unavoidable, deal with it quickly. Provide situational updates every 30 minutes. Record of events, September 25th. We're turning the station into a temporary shelter due to the sudden massive outbreak. All police personnel have been instructed to make the safety of the citizens their top priority, as we try to accommodate as many of them as possible. September 25th, addendum. One of the refugees attacked us in the middle of the night, resulting in the death of 1 officer and injuring 3 others. The person in question was quickly restrained. We believe this was simply a case of someone snapping under intense stress. September 26th. A mob attacked the station today, resulting in a number of casualties. A few survivors were able to make it safely behind the emergency shutters, but surrounded as we are, it'll be hard for any of us to escape this place. We're not sure we can fix any of our comm equipment, so we remain cut off from the outside world. September 27th. There was another clash on the west side of the station around 1 p.m. 12 people died, and there was only a handful of survivors left. Everything is falling into disarray in here. David Ford. Product catalog. Tyrant. Price, $120 million. Product specifications. A humanoid bioweapon with exceptional combat capabilities. It can execute simple commands, such as tracking and eliminating targets, and comes with a coat as standard for effective human disguise. Nemesis-Gamma. Price, negotiable. Product specifications. Based on the Umbrella Corporation's parasitic NE-alpha, this mass-produced model focuses on cost reduction and performance enhancement. Repeated improvements have resulted in a significant boost to physical ability and recovery, regardless of the host's durability. GARM. Price, $30 million. Product specifications. Umbrella Corporation's Cerberus has been further enhanced and enlarged, resulting in increased combat capabilities. It can track and pursue targets at speeds exceeding 60 miles per hour. Liquor. Price, $14 million. Product specifications. Originally an infection anomaly, rigorous experimentation revealed the key to activating the mutation, paving the way for commercialization. Product boasts enhanced climbing capabilities and possesses sharp claws and a pointed tongue. Plant. Price, $100 million. Product specifications. A prototype bioweapon developed from a viral plant infection found in the Arklay Mountains and Raccoon City. Note: an incident occurred during the transport of the experimental Plant 43 and has resulted in an infestation near the service entrance of ARC. Always exercise extreme caution when transporting bioweapons. Raccoon City Bioweapon Research Report. As previously stated, ARC is focused on bioweapon research and development, utilizing the unique environment of Raccoon City. In particular, experiments performed by infecting nearby zombies with the mutated T-virus strain have yielded a great deal of empirical data. This has also proven effective against the BSAA's attempts to eradicate ARK. The development of a new bioweapon based on this hard data is in the final stages. If said bioweapon is released, we can expect further profit growth next fiscal year. ARK has now become a key bioweapon production hub for North America. It will continue to bring great benefits to both us and the United States.
Access log, 51st Assembly Minutes. Checking database access request. The following data was found. Minutes of the 51st Assembly meeting as transcribed by AI Control Center, NO-AH. The state. We heard the key, Grace Ashcroft, has finally been found. It's been 28 years since we occupied ARK. Are you sure she's the one? Z. Without a doubt. There's no need to worry. More importantly, don't you think your withdrawal from the treaty is too blatant? The state. It's a bluff. The United States is and always will be at the center of the world. The BSAA are fully under our control as well. Are there any changes in product supply? Z. ARK's factory automation is constantly evolving. I believe that's enough for today. We can discuss further while we view the products. 16th, 1300, Oswell E. Spencer. World War and Cold War. Founded Umbrella out of despair. Loquacious. T-virus. Bioweapons. Incomplete blood research. Immortality. Memory transfer. Advanced breed of human. Mind control. All for the evolution of humanity? Bioterrorism and human experimentation. No response to questions. Doubt? Elpis will be there. Elpis? Look it up later. Impressions. More rational than expected. A pure scientist. An idealist. That purity was the origin of madness? A twisted genius at his core. Some hesitation in his tone. Is he hiding something? Anger? Regret? Ms. Alyssa Ashcroft, I hope this letter finds you in good health. My name is Patrick, and I am writing to you as the butler of Oswell E. Spencer. Perhaps you remember me? I'd like to extend my gratitude once more to you for taking the time to interview Master Oswell. I am writing to you today to inform you of his last will and testament. In his later years, my master was often in a state of unrest, and his speech was somewhat jumbled. As such, his last will and testament was quite unintelligible aside from the following passage. I would appreciate it if you could read it carefully. Kindly respond at your earliest convenience. Below follows an excerpt from the will. I designate Alyssa Ashcroft as the guardian of my adopted daughter, Grace. She will be safe in her care. Oswell E. Spencer. In 1998, Raccoon City was devastated by a massive outbreak caused by a viral leak from the pharmaceutical giant Umbrella. The United States government responded by launching a missile strike to wipe out the infected and erected a blockade to seal off the city. In 2004, following a court trial, the Umbrella Corporation declared bankruptcy. A complete account of the events was never released. However, in October 2026, it was discovered that the city had been used as a hub for the production and trafficking of bioweapons. This report reveals that the established narrative of the Raccoon City incident was falsified and elucidates newly discovered truths surrounding the incident. 1968. To properly understand the truth, we must first go back to the beginning of it all. In 1968, Oswell E. Spencer, James Marcus, and Edward Ashford founded the Umbrella Corporation. Having witnessed the horrors of the Second World War and the dread of the Cold War, Spencer felt a sense of despair at watching the world repeat the same mistakes. He felt it was his duty to bring about a change to humanity. As stated in court records following the Raccoon City incident, his ultimate goal was to bring about the viral evolution of the human race. Thus, he relentlessly pursued virus research through illegal and inhumane means. This fact remains unchanged. 1970s. From the very beginning of Umbrella, the company faced rapid change and intense internal strife, most notably the sharp ideological divide between Spencer and Marcus. According to court records, this conflict was cited as the primary factor leading to the unusual developments which followed. In 1978, James Marcus developed the T virus, which would go on to become the cause of the subsequent outbreak. 1980s. This is a crucial period for understanding the basis of what caused the incident and the truth behind the entire case. Spencer's influence and ARC's establishment. Spencer used internal politics to have Marcus demoted, absorbing T-virus research into a facility under his own control. From then on, Umbrella began to actively research and develop bioweapons under Spencer's leadership. The underground facility known as ARC, which was discovered during recent events, originally served as the administrative center of Umbrella's research. Several documents outlining Spencer's plan for ARC have also been discovered. Excerpt from confiscated records. Long-term strategic review, integrated research roadmap. Step 1. Concentrated investment into Wesker's plan and the T virus. Step 2. Establishment of ARK as a central command center. Step 3. Development of ELPIS. Step 4. Memory transfer and forced evolution. This is the first recorded instance of a significant keyword, ELPIS. The connections involvement. The following documents regarding Marcus's involvement were also discovered. Excerpt from confiscated records. Receipt of donation 1986_0138. Recipient, James Marcus. Sender, F Foundation. Amount, $30 million. This document shows a suspicious flow of funds being channeled to Marcus. Past FBI investigations revealed that the source of the funds, the F Foundation, was just one of the puppet organizations of the Connections. The F Foundation no longer exists. The Connections is a criminal organization that various government agencies have been sounding the alarm against for years. This illicit group is at the heart of all this. Evidence suggests that the Connections sought involvement with Umbrella's central operations. Additional documents belonging to the protege of Marcus, Brandon Bailey, have been uncovered. Excerpt from confiscated records. Sender, Brandon Bailey. Recipient, F Foundation. Preparations are complete. I think it's time they made contact with me directly, don't you? I await a response. This indicates that Bailey took over correspondence with the Connections, succeeding Marcus. Bailey was rumored to be the founder of the Connections, but he may have only been a small cog in the larger machine. We now believe the Connections has had deep roots in the criminal underworld since before the 1980s. Much about the Connections remains unknown. Spencer's purge. In order for Spencer to obtain complete control over Umbrella, he used force to deal with any internal opposition and influential adversaries. A list of these individuals, seemingly prepared by an associate of Spencer's, was recently discovered. Excerpt from confiscated records. Reevaluation list. Following the CEO's reevaluation protocol, measures will be taken against these individuals. Cheryl Moore, Michael Kramer, James Marcus. 1990s. During this period, Umbrella continued to grow and expand through ties with the government. The organization became so large that Spencer could no longer fully control it. Numerous accidents plagued Umbrella facilities around the world as a result of poor management.
Furthermore, information was being leaked to rival organizations and the Connections due to moles who had infiltrated the company. Yet, despite the circumstances, Spencer was able to thoroughly protect and complete his research at ARC. The research. ELPIS. While most records regarding ELPIS were lost with the destruction of ARC, a precious few remain. Excerpt from confiscated records. Spencer's message 199. Data missing. Tricell, HCF, the family, and Umbrella. ELPIS shall bring it all to an end.
The only information leaked about ELPIS was that it had the potential to upset the military balance of the entire world. However, a strictly managed password known only to Spencer was needed to access it. What is ELPIS? ELPIS is a powerful antiviral drug. However, this was unknown to those who sought it. The Connections and other black market groups mistakenly thought it to be a powerful bioweapon with the potential to control human minds. This confusion likely stemmed from the fierce competition surrounding bioweapon development. It was common knowledge that Spencer, the developer of ELPIS, aimed for the evolution and control of humanity through viral technology. Completion of ELPIS. Based on data taken from the confiscated records and changes in Spencer's behavior, we believe ELPIS was completed around the mid-1990s. After this period, the records show a marked decrease in the number of public statements from Spencer. A similar decrease in activity was also observed at the Raccoon City orphanage. Disturbingly, it is suspected that the children at the orphanage had long been used for umbrella experimentation. While Spencer frequently visited the orphanage, records indicate he stopped in the 1990s. Furthermore, the orphanage was under the research jurisdiction of William Birkin in the late 90s. Birkin turned against Spencer, ultimately leading to the leak of the T-virus. 1998, the Raccoon City incident. The T-virus leaked from the Umbrella Research Facility in Raccoon City, causing an unprecedented outbreak. In response, the government decided to launch a missile strike on the city, under the pretense of containing the spread. However, this is where we have been misled. The missile strike was not launched to prevent the spread of infection. A plan was formed to disrupt the relationship between the government and Umbrella and shift the blame for all illegal activities onto Spencer. Found records indicate that the Connections lobbied for the missile strike. Excerpts from confiscated records. Access log, first assembly minutes. ARC has been secured. Commence the missile strike. The blame will fall solely on Spencer. With this, Umbrella will be dismantled and will seize their assets. Their goal was the acquisition of Umbrella assets, particularly the thing they believed would disrupt the world's military balance, ELPIS. Due to Bailey's involvement, the Connections were aware of Umbrella's inner workings prior to the Raccoon City incident. This set them up to swiftly secure ARC before instructing the government to carry out the missile strike. After the Raccoon City incident, the Umbrella trials. As is well known, trials were held after the events of the Raccoon City incident. Testimony from Raccoon City survivors, along with evidence submitted by the Global Pharmaceutical Consortium, demonstrated the scope of Umbrella's nefarious activities. Evidence against Spencer was presented at the trials by his subordinate, Albert Wesker. It is now evident that Wesker was linked to Tricell, which in turn had strong ties to the Connections. Therefore, it is highly likely there was pressure from the government and the Connections during the trials. In 2004, following the outcome of the trials, Umbrella was forced into bankruptcy. Just as the Connections and the government intended, Oswell E. Spencer was held accountable as CEO, and he disappeared from the public eye. Acquisition of ARC. The Connections and the government seized ARC during the Raccoon City incident. Thereafter, ARC served as a base for the research, development, and distribution of bioweapons. Documents believed to be transaction lists have also been seized. These list Umbrella's competitors, along with organizations that were previously found guilty of illegal activity. Unfortunately, most evidence was lost with the collapse of ARC. Recovery efforts continue, but success is unlikely. Proliferation of bioterrorism. Following the Raccoon City incident, weaponized viruses developed by Umbrella were leaked. Subsequently, instances of bioterrorism utilizing this technology spread around the globe. In 2013, President Adam Benford was assassinated in a bioterrorist attack. Intelligence agencies report that the president wished to reveal the full truth of the Raccoon City incident. It is possible that President Benford was privy to the facts revealed in this report. Spencer's final years.
Remaining records about Spencer after the dissolution of Umbrella are scarce, but a new source of information has recently come to light. An interview conducted by Alyssa Ashcroft. Despite being responsible for countless atrocities, Spencer showed some signs of remorse in this interview. Having lost everything, he sought atonement. While ELPIS is a powerful instrument that can render viral weapons inert, it also has the potential as a panacea to be used for good.
It's possible that Spencer's true motivations behind Elpis were peace and redemption. While he remained obsessed with the evolution of humanity throughout his later years, most testimonies describe him as nothing but a senile old man. Spencer died in 2006 at his secluded estate. His true intentions behind developing Elpis will forever remain unknown. Conclusion. As we can see from the records, the Umbrella Corporation's liquidation was intentionally orchestrated by the Connections and the U.S. government. Furthermore, they were involved in the illegal development and trafficking of bioweapons in Raccoon City. The extent to which past and present governments were involved requires further investigation. Much about the Connections remains shrouded in mystery, and most records of their involvement were destroyed alongside ARC. Countless lives have been lost. As government officials, we have a duty to pursue the truth. If anything, finding it will finally offer some closure to everyone who fell victim to these heinous actions. FBI Intelligence Analyst, Grace Ashcroft.